SEO literally has zero to do with where you build your site. I mean, that's kind of the nitty gritty of SEO, and it's how you manipulate the way your pages look on the search engines. Our website's ranking well, GHL works, the automations work. Their new site was ranking like 60 days for a couple of keywords. I'm very confident I can replicate it for you. That's what SEO is. You're providing good enough information for people to want to cite you.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another interview. I'm joined today by Josh Cline, all the way from the other side of Charlotte, North Carolina, just about 30 minutes from me. We were going to do this in person, but I figured, the technical nature of the interview might lend itself to some screen sharing or maybe some visual aids that we can provide on this call that we wouldn't be able to in person. So definitely, if you're listening to this podcast style, check out the YouTube channel. That's the Power Plays podcast on YouTube. But Josh, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Happy to be here. And It's cool that we are so close. So I'm sure we'll get to meet in person someday soon too.
So tell us about you. It sounds like you found GHL about 4 years ago. How did you get into this whole space and what were you doing beforehand?
So beforehand, I actually worked for an electronics company in Southern California. I still lived in Orange County. And so I'd worked for this guy for about 4 years, doing home security and in-home electronics. Started in shipping and then started doing assembly of electronics. That's really where I got my start in technology, was with hardware more so than software. I always had a knack for hardware and stuff like that, and all types of computers. But so yeah, I pretty much started there, and then COVID hit out of nowhere, and I didn't get to work for almost 8 months. And I didn't know when I was going to get to go back. That was a world first right there. So I was looking for things to do on YouTube, just studying kind of for weeks. I had nothing but time. I saved up money specifically through COVID to I'm ready. I got the confidence, I'm going to start something on my own finally. And I was about to do drop shipping with Amazon or something, crazy like that. And lo and behold, I found just a YouTube ad really to start a marketing agency. And it was through some other program it's not even really running anymore. And GHL to them was like an afterthought. It's like, yeah, we kind of need it because we're teaching you to run Google ads, Facebook ads. And yeah, this tool just helps. It makes things a little bit cheaper, but they didn't really train people on it. It was very dry and straightforward, just basic things. And I just latched onto it right away. I mean, I saw the value immediately, and I never bought a domain, set up hosting, none of this stuff. And just that all that was there so cheap at my fingertips, and I got my agency running so quickly, and I kind of just had a natural knack for it and just took off from there, really. The guy I rented a house from was my first client, and he does paintless dent repair. So it's like little small dents and dings, and there's so many cars out there that it was pretty easy to get him business with Google Ads. And then lo and behold, my second client was my boss that I still worked for at the security company. So 2 weeks after I get into this Facebook group and trainings and stuff, I get to go back to work. So I'm working full time. It's crazy because we couldn't work for so long. And so I'm helping him get everything back up and running and still trying to start my agency. So I'm working 9 to 6, staying up till 2 in the morning for 6 months straight. Just really trying to figure this out and grinding. And that's all it took because I was so dedicated to it. In that 6-month time, I already had enough to kind of quit. I could move back with my family here in North Carolina where I'm at now. And during that time, I was helping him with his marketing too. He used to be wholesale and just sell product in bulk. And after COVID, he switched to local, just installations. And so that was client number 2 for home security. And we got his website going, his Google business profile, reviews, the whole 9 yards. And I used their results to just start cold emailing. As soon as you got results for one client, that numbers speak for themselves. And so I kind of just latched onto that, and I'm thankful for that course. It gave me the foundation, but still to this day, they don't look at the software as valuable as it is. It's still service. And I've just found so many unique ways to use it. But that was really the start of it, and it was a grind, but
Yeah.
COVID was the spark, I guess you could say.
So was it just the two clients you had at the end of the 6 months?
So at the end of the 6 months, I had one more dent repair client in Sacramento,
Okay.
because I was really focused on getting them good results. So as soon as I had three, I stopped prospecting altogether. And I was
Hmm.
like, even if I have to put in, money, whatever I've got to do, this is an investment for me because I'm
Yeah.
now investing in my clients' results
Hmm.
as my prospecting material to go forward.
Yeah.
And it's worked out pretty well that way.
Yeah, that's great. How old are you?
I'll be 31 in August, so I'm
Okay.
30 right now.
Yeah, it's funny because like most of the guys starting around 18, 19, 20, like early 20s kids, they just don't. I'm finding that it doesn't compute that like the common sense thing you described where it's like you get results, you leverage those results. It's like, no, I'm just supposed to go prospect. I'm just supposed to get as many clients as possible and then I'll figure it out. But it's combining some common sense with a course that I see do the best, like hands down across the board. Nobody nobody got to be successful by just copy pasting what the course says. Like you've got to put a little bit of your own intuition in there. So I love that story for that reason.
Right.
So you were doing Google ads for all three of those clients?
Yeah, that's how it started. We were running Google Ads specifically. I'll give it to my business partner now. That's how we kind of met. He did the Google Ads course for this other agency as like a subcontractor.
Okay,
And so I learned from him, and he's been doing it for years and years. Kind of has some programming background.
cool.
But I learned Google Ads from him and really latched onto that. Um, and that's kind of what I stuck to for those first probably 6 to 8 months or so,
Okay.
was Google Ads specifically. But really, I'm really granular with tracking and like
Hmm.
proving results, not just leads, but all the way through to money made.
Yeah.
And I've always been key on that and keeping like dashboards accurate.
Hmm.
It takes a little bit of extra work, but it sends so many subliminal messages every time they log in. If they see like a true monetary value of what they made with your
Yeah.
system, and true lead counts and where those leads came from, or which ads, and they have access to all of that just kind of like automatically. um, the more you dig, just the more you find that there's more to offer there, and you can just start with something so small.
Yeah.
It's really
That
powerful.
is that's a nugget right there. It actually is pretty hard to get the high level dashboard to be 100% accurate. Hey guys, just jumping in here to give you a quick word on our sponsor GoHighLevel before we get back to the interview. If you don't know already, GoHighLevel is the top sales and marketing solution for any business, but particularly agency owners or anybody that needs a software product to resell to their existing customer base. It has everything you need to capture, nurture, and close leads for marketing clients. And the best part is GoHighLevel believes in not taxing the agencies on its platform, so you can get unlimited clients for one low flat monthly fee. The best features include a CRM, funnel, website and email builders, course hosting platform, robust marketing automation builder, a consolidated chat stream with WhatsApp, email, SMS, Instagram DMs, and Facebook DMs, reputation management, social media posting, tracking and analytics, and so much more. And as if that wasn't enough, GoHighLevel is fully white labeled, meaning that you can take the platform and put your own brand on the desktop and mobile app and resell it to your industry for whatever price you want. Essentially, what GoHighLevel has done is brought the bar for starting a software company way lower, so normal people like you and I can help our clients with an amazingly robust software without paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in development costs. I am not kidding when I say hands down, GoHighLevel is my favorite software of all time. It has been integral to my success with my agency. It helped me increase my clients' results and retention, and I use it every single day for my own business. And if you sign up for GoHighLevel today, not only will you get a 30-day free trial, which is not available on their website, but you'll get all of the bonuses listed at itskeaton.com/mastermind, which gets you support, templates, and courses to kickstart your high-level journey and get those first few clients or scale to your next few clients. If you're already a high-level customer, you can also get all of those bonuses by upgrading to the next highest plan underneath my link. Instructions for that are also at itskeaton.com/mastermind. Or I saw through a client who was like transitioning away from their agency, I saw somebody else's high level and it was like pipeline value $30 million worth of dental
Hmm.
implants. And I was like,
Always.
come on. Like you think that's helping, but it's actually hurting because they log in and they're like, I can't believe that, so I can't believe anything in here.
I know.
Um, so what were you saying about that, the dashboard specifically opening up other conversations or like areas for improvement?
So clients just started to see, like, I have sites over here. What is that? Can we build full websites? You say my landing page is in here,
Hmm.
and I see reporting, and it's got like organic there, but there's nothing there. It shows like Google
Mm,
Analytics is here. Why is there no data? It just drives questions, and all it really takes is, and this is what I always tell my clients, even to this day, is just if you can get like action in the system, then clients have to use it and they'll start asking questions. Like you've
yeah.
just got to get them to use it. So if you can generate leads in some way, that's enough. Like if you're trying to be a marketing agency and not just SaaS, then you can easily do that. If you can get leads, then just tack on high level and clients start to ask and it opens up a lot more doors, if you want to learn and offer those things as well. And it makes the services sticky and it gives you even a downsell.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've worked towards with SEO, which was kind of the next phase in those early days for me, was starting to get into the organic side also from clients asking. It was always
Yeah.
filling a need that was asked for.
It's really interesting because I mean, I think there's a middle ground here, but it flies in the face of like, shut off everything that they don't need, like, don't overwhelm them. They just need these few things. And, like maybe they don't need access to automations that they're going to screw up everything that you've set up, but
Right.
just exposing them to, hey, there's these few other things that are tied to not just like, oh no, that feature is included, but like to build the website and do the SEO, that's an extra fee. um it's so smart. Like it's selling without selling. It's cool.
And that's kind of what I've lived by.
Yeah.
It's just I don't prospect really hard anymore. We will run specific offers here and there, but it's kind of when everything just aligns for it anyway.
Yeah.
Something new's coming out, a new course or something like that. When we market, it's more to help agencies these days and just get new things out there. We don't really market to take on clients, but they find us. We're having to tell clients to stop referring us these days without telling them to do it in the first place.
Yeah. Okay, so you get into Google. I want to, before we go into kind of the SEO part of this journey, what did it feel like learning digital marketing for the first time? Like with your tech background, did you feel like you picked it up quickly, or what was the hardest part of that?
I do. The tech part was kind of the grind in the evenings.
Hmm.
I'm a perfectionist, so I'm going to
Hmm.
keep going until I figure it out. Like I'm a person also that I'll figure it out eventually if you give me the time, and I found the time. That's can be hard to do for a lot of people, but I force myself to find it. So just in using it so much and like forcing myself to be the one to set it all up in the beginning,
Hmm.
and not just outsourcing immediately,
Yeah.
like that's opened a lot of doors too, and just being able to support every part of the system myself in and out, and that just helped a lot too. But
Yeah.
the
Um,
marketing side, I think, helped my background from the 2 years I went to college. I didn't finish,
mhm.
but like the ad copy and writing ads and
Okay.
getting results and landing pages, that kind of came naturally because of psychology. Like I went to
Nice.
school for psychology to be a therapist for 2 years, and that's kind of just been a natural thing to me, is talking to people
Hmm.
telling me their life stories naturally. My family's therapist naturally, so that interested
Nice.
me too, and that helped get the results. I naturally would put myself in the shoes of the person coming to that page and would go like fill out that form and count how many clicks it took to get there, and did the offer really make sense, and
Mm.
what ad did I see before I got there. And it's those little things, those little details that go a long ways in the beginning.
Yeah. So you're saying noting your own behavior online and kind of reverse engineering that for the psychology of how you're going to write your ads.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And like the call to action and the steps into the form and questions on the form between like selecting radio buttons or having to type in. Like I wanted to remove every bit of friction for that user as possible and keep relevance as possible as I could, and even weed people out. Like, if you click my ad and this isn't for you, I want you to kind of know that quickly,
Yeah.
And so it's those little things helped a lot with the landing pages and stuff. And
Yeah.
they probably didn't look as great. I didn't have the design skills and know the builder and custom values. Like everything was kind of just typed out.
Mhm.
All those extra little nuggets of GoHighLevel came
Yeah.
much later.
That's cool though. It reminds me of I'm really not a gamer, but I've just been like kind of getting back into some nostalgia like games from my teenage years, and it's like when you know the game, you can like I don't know if you ever played RuneScape, but like the the like very most advanced people on RuneScape could complete something in 30 seconds that would take a newbie 15, 20, 30 minutes maybe, because they just don't, it's not even the skill of the character. It's like you just know where to click, you know which way to go, you know the pathway.
Right,
And in digital marketing, like you level up your character by how much time you're willing to sit and do the grind of like, okay, I learned how to click here. I learned how to click here. Oh, I clicked that one out of order. Now I'm going to go back and do this one. And kind of you build your own framework as you go along. But it's such an underrated piece of advice to just like sit there and gain the skill over time, because it's going to come, like there's no way that doesn't come in handy for you down the line. And
right.
as long as you're not trying to retire in the next 3 years, like you can dedicate 3 years to learning that, and then you're not going to go hungry long term.
Definitely. It's just opened so many doors, and
Mhm.
my eyes have been open to opportunity. Like that's the biggest shift from going of employee to entrepreneur and business owner is like opportunities everywhere. I've found so many people to help with this tool in
Mm.
very creative ways, and that just leads to other things. So
Yeah, so cool. All right, so let's talk about SEO. All these Google Ads clients start to ask about SEO or like getting a better website or something like that.
yeah, a little bit of both. They just because Google Ads, it's only 33% of the search result page. And not even really, if you just count your options, right? You have three options: the map pack, an organic website, or an ad.
Mm-hmm.
They really only take up ads, maybe take up 10% of the page or less, sometimes none,
Yeah.
really. But it was just ad spend and everything. The fact that they had to pay for every single click. They did already have a website. Like my boss in California, his was all kind of original e-commerce. So he was an engineer. He engineered his own products and stuff like that. And we just sold him, but he had a really good website. It was super old, but that's where all his like actually global bulk electronics sales came from, like apartment complexes installing new
Oh, okay.
Bluetooth and speakers and stuff like that, and security would buy in bulk from us and his custom products. And so he started to ask about it. He's like, my site's super old. It's WordPress. I see there are sites in here. Do they compare? And I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't built a site yet, but
Mm-hmm.
let's figure it out. Let's try it. Why not? It's not
Yeah.
going to cost anything extra to host it.
Yeah.
All it takes is the time to build it. So let's come up with a fair price to build out the site, and let's see what we can do. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the first SEO offer I had with my first three clients was, you guys already have a WordPress website. Why don't we rebuild either that as close as we can on high level, or we can just build something brand new and just see, and I'll give you a discounted rate on the site. It's also going to be a test for me to learn the data, and um, you know, that's that. And so that's kind of how we started with organic, was just testing out three websites. Two were for dent repair, and then one was for local, like home security and home audio, intercom installations and stuff like that.
Okay. And now the moment in this podcast that everyone's been waiting for. did the GHL sites outperform the WordPress sites?
They did. Like they ranked quicker. So this was the start of my
Mm,
course. And actually, in talking with one of the owners and creators of GoHighLevel, Sean Clark, I just posted some screenshots of the results from people just asking in the group. And I'm like, I'm kind of new to organic too, but here's what I found. This is just like the first 3 months,
mm-hmm.
and we're already ranking. Here's the group of keywords we're ranking for. When I search these keywords in their area, our site's coming up before their WordPress one. And I've actually already learned a really cool way to kind of link them together with something called structured schema. So if you want to help out the older site and get them both to rank and take up 2 spots on Google, then you can do that as well with just a little bit of code on the high level site. But they ranked right there with them, right above them. We started to rank for more keywords.
Wow.
It was easier for me to manage or scale the content than with WordPress and all those plugins. And, I hadn't done it, but I was familiar with them, and from helping clients integrate forms from GoHighLevel and things like that. I had a little bit of WordPress experience, but
Yeah.
even in doing that, putting a form on a page, I was like, no, thank you. This would take way too long to scale out. And
Yeah.
but
It's
those were my
so
original tests. And
just adding the number of clicks that it takes to get a WordPress site to do what you want it to do. Like compare that to the number of clicks in the high level builder, especially considering that everything else is built in there. Um, like obviously that's better, but then everybody's always like, oh, for SEO, you're really going to want a WordPress site, and you weren't finding that, which is heresy to all of the WordPress agencies out there. But objective reality for you.
right. And I will say WordPress still has its place, right? Like
Mm,
it does. There are e-commerce times when I would say still go with WordPress or Shopify.
yeah,
Even like I'll direct clients to Shopify in some cases, but GoHighLevel's even starting to work on the e-com side as
yeah.
well with like their little shop products and stuff for the site now that you can add on. They have some extra pages and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
they're starting to take some recommendations and work on the e-com side as well. But
Yeah.
and there are other times maybe if it's like a really big national or global campaign, or if you already have a really good foundation on WordPress. I always look at the numbers before I say, hey, let's just completely transition. I would say 99% of the time we're going to add on to like whatever you have going on with WordPress with GoHighLevel. Anything we do new is going to be developed here, but we can still help everything you've done with WordPress if you want to keep that as well and just take up another spot on Google. But in terms of new sites, and if it's local business, and if you're looking to get into like consistent content for lead generation or anything of that nature, GoHighLevel offers everything that WordPress can do. They've even worked on their speed of their landing pages and loading times a lot. That was
Mm-hmm.
one question and thing I've gotten all throughout and still do. And I have some specific ways of just like even testing that now and comparing it. Like it's about as good as it's going to get. And those speed numbers are pretty arbitrary, anyways, these days. Um, but there's literally, it's SEO literally has zero to do with where you build your site.
Yeah.
So it's not really a fair comparison to say GoHighLevel to WordPress. It's
Hmm.
it's all the other intricacies and blogs and control of like subdirectories if you want to have those, like when a site has multiple forward slashes at the end.
Okay.
That's still not a thing that you can do with GoHighLevel. Um, I still have a structure for that and a way we do it. We still have kind of URL structures and categories to scale out sites past 250 pages, sometimes even. That's one of our most profitable services these days is just content. We just do like 12 pages a month for a few sites, and I have a really good case study for this as well, of a brand new site that's all we've done for. It's a new brand, and we've done 12 pages a month for like almost a year now, and it's getting almost like 225 to between 175 225 leads a month for used engines and transmissions, so kind
Wow.
of high ticket items in Houston, Texas. And so that's been really awesome, and it's all done with GoHighLevel. That's what we've used to help scale the content and just do it, kind of on repeat every month. And things like that wouldn't be possible with WordPress as quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And because you still got to think you've got to work in some kind of automations, Zapier or something for your form submissions, and then you've got to go build other flows or
Yeah.
update your plugins. Like there's just
Oh, that plugin thing, literally every time I log into WordPress, I just shut the computer down and walk out of the room because it's so hard to use. It's so hard to use. And you download one plugin, it deactivates all the rest of the plugins.
right.
Like, what's the point? I had a friend of mine, Troy Dean, he was like, inherited his parents' business and or was helping them with some marketing or something, I think it was. And he was like, I logged into WordPress. This thing is terrible. I think it'll be obsolete in 30 years. And I didn't comment this, but I wanted to. I was like, I wish you were right. But I don't, weirdly enough, I don't think WordPress is going anywhere. It's like Facebook Business Manager, where it's like the most awful user experience in the whole world, but billions and billions of dollars are funneled into it because, I don't know, they happen to be first or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's just fascinating. So I want to get this story straight from you. As a beginner with no previous SEO experience, you just said, what the hell, let's try 3 websites on GoHighLevel. You ranked them to the first page of Google in a matter of months, and you kept their old WordPress website and was able to rank that one as well.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. Their new site was ranking within like 60 days for a couple of
Wow.
keywords, and it just started to grow. And yeah, it started to help their WordPress site as well, linking
Tell
them
me more
together.
about the scheme. What'd you call it? A schema markup? And is that a strategy that anyone could employ? Like maybe they don't have the previous website, but they want to have 2 websites, so they make 2.
Absolutely, yeah. Even ChatGPT now can help you write structured schema or schema markup.
Okay.
And this specifically is called same as schema. So, like, this website or business is the same as this website or business. And really, you should use it anyway. Like, there's local business schema and frequently asked questions, there's all kinds of schema. And I mean, that's kind of the nitty gritty of SEO, and it's how you manipulate the way your pages look on the search engines. So if you ever see like a cool looking result that has an image and maybe a little bit more information at the top when you search for like maybe like an Excel formula or just something that you can just get a quick answer for
Yeah, yeah.
before AI started coming out, the AI summaries
Mhm.
that you see now, but you still get those are called like featured snippets or structured snippets, and
Okay.
that kind of comes from your schema. But this is just a certain type of one, and you should use it for like your Facebook profile, your Google business profile, any of your big socials. You should always tie into your website with same as schema. That tells the indexing bots immediately as soon as they hit your site that you're an entity. It doesn't just stop at this site, and that's what Google's looking for today, is for you to have all these other profiles and have
Mm.
traction and traffic and growth and movement on those other profiles. Google does look for that on the main ones, even like Yelp and LinkedIn and Pinterest, like any of your big profiles. And you can just go straight to ChatGPT and say, here's my website URL, here are my social profile URLs, give me same as schema. And there you go.
And then you put that on the second website, or where does that go?
So yes, that would go on the new website. It could also
Okay.
be done kind of in reverse on the old one as well. Typically, and you can even have sometimes multiple profiles and like social profiles and things for different sites and different brands. So you want to keep the social profiles kind of specific with the sites, but you can easily link sites that way. If you have a blog, or say for
Hmm.
you, your podcast and your YouTube channels, things
Yeah.
like that. You can work those in, and it's definitely helpful for websites.
So cool. I was gonna say about the podcast thing I heard a while back. I think it was whoever that guy, the bald guy that started I forget the name of the SEO company. He's on YouTube and like he has like 10 videos and he has like 300,000 subscribers. Brian,
Oh,
I think is his first name. And he was saying like in 2022 or whatever it was, like get on as many podcasts as possible
hmm
is a really good SEO strategy. And I think the principle behind that is just like SEO is as much about just getting your link on various places around the internet than it is about anything else. Like
absolutely.
start a podcast, like local businesses are like, would having a YouTube channel help me? Like, yeah, it would. Like take film 3 videos for all I care, put them on YouTube, link your website. Like it's just looking to see if you're legitimate, and it's taking all of these signals from all across the web to say, okay, this person should rank above this person, or we should recommend this content over this content.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it goes that deep. And schema, in basic terms, is Google's robots language. Like we're
Okay.
speaking English, the code is what the bots are actually reading.
Mm,
And so if you're not giving them the schema and the information you want them to index, they're having to guess and fill in like context, take context from other places, and they're guessing and they can be wrong. But even the fact that they have to guess and fill in content context themselves, they could rank another site that has schema above yours because they can just read it that much quicker. Like they can
mm,
know instantly, okay, this site deserves to be on page one at least. They rank up with these other sites that have schema and have these other, profiles. They've built authority. They are an entity and not just an individual site or blog that stops there and it's not linked to anything else. Even if it does have other things, it's just not linked, and Google can probably still pick it up with its bots and everything, but
mm.
that's when you find yourself on page two because it just took longer to find all
Totally.
the info about you.
So interesting. And that seems like a good objection handle as well to a local business owner who's like, "Oh, I'm already on page 1. I don't want to lose it." Or I've been working on my SEO for years. I'm not sure if I've done it right, but I don't want to lose all that juice. You just say, "No problem. We keep your site and we're just going to add on to it and do another one." Right?
Right. And I have like a whole section and video kind of in my course about this specifically. And, there's different approaches that you can take for this, but a lot of times businesses are already going to have a website,
Mm,
right? So you want to get GoHighLevel forms on there first and foremost,
yeah.
even if you can design them to look exactly like their existing ones. That's
Yeah.
something we do. I tell them like, look, you can't even tell a difference. If you want me to customize it, I can. If you need different questions, whatever, like we can do that much easier now because everything's here, and I can even control your forms while they live on the WordPress site and
Yeah.
still design them and change them from over here. And that's fine. Um, but yeah, and it's a really good thing. It's like something additional to do, and you can take up another spot on Google. I've never had a client be opposed to that. Like if I can help your original site rank better and we're building more content still for the same brand essentially, and it's still obvious that they're the same site, you can even get very similar domains. You don't have to, but you can. It'll help kind of with that immediate recognition from the customer base, but it's not 100% necessary. It doesn't really have a huge effect on SEO except for branded terms, right? If you want both your sites to rank for the business name, you should probably keep your domains pretty similar in doing
Okay.
this, even maybe with a little different ending. And that's what we would do. And and clients could see they were getting leads from both sides. Like it would increase. They were getting leads from a new source. Each page on the news site's like another line in the water. Like think of a fishing boat with
Yeah.
multiple lines. Every line you have, it's ranking for different keywords. They're catching different fish, so to
Mm,
speak. And and you can break SEO down to that and just really focus on a page and say, I want it to rank for these 4 or 5 keywords. And then if you can get it to do that, and you pick the next page and you learn like even some of the variations of the keywords from the original one, and you can write new content about that. Um,
it reminds me of like every time I'm at like a farmer's market or a um, even just like a strip mall, you're like, oh, I'm not going to go to this grocery store because I like this one better. And turns out they're both owned by the same company. Like you're lining the pockets of the same CEO.
Right.
um, Theoretically, could a single business take up every spot, like organic spot on a search results page?
Absolutely. And when it's a branded term, you
Okay.
should.
Okay.
That's our goal, right? Like you want page one to be your
Mm,
website, website one, website two, Google business profile comes up, your other citations, like even Apple Maps and Yelp and
okay.
LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and Yelp and Pinterest. And like my clients will have 2, 3 pages, and those are actually called citations. So
Yeah.
each of your profiles, it's a citation to match up your business information and stuff. But yeah, those should all be indexing and taking up the pages for branded terms. And I guess you could for like individual keywords too,
Yeah.
right? Like you really could if you found like an area that didn't have a lot of competition, or a certain niche that didn't have a lot of competition in an area.
Hmm.
Yes, you very well could. And um, it's a little more old school, right? When
Yeah.
things were a little bit easier and less competition. But there was guys that used to do this with all kinds of rank and rent style websites that didn't really have a true business behind them yet. You can get
Hmm.
them ranking first. It's another really easy strategy to do with GoHighLevel. Just takes a little bit of time to set those up. But yeah.
So cool. Yeah, that was going to be my next question is like, are you pitching this second website, so to speak, as a rank and rent site, or you're saying, hey, we're going to transition your main website to high level, and the other one is the rank and rent slash secondary site?
So typically we just start with a new one. Like we're going to build a new site. It's a lead generation service. So our point is to get you more leads, and we're going to do that with content. And we're going
Mm,
to continue to produce content unless you just want another website. Like so a lot of times businesses don't know what they need. They just want more business. And so they're like, I'm kind of trusting you. Like what are
yeah.
our options? And that's when I start to break down, okay, well, we've got paid traffic, we've got organic. I always recommend doing both, but it's perfectly fine to get started with one or the other. And even the levels of how much you put into one or the other should definitely change over time, with the right strategies. But yeah, I mean that's exactly what I would tell clients. And
Cool. Um, so you're pitching primarily, hey, we're going to get you leads through this site, and then the content, like SEO, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, or it'd probably be better to just ask you, but what percentage is, hey, we're building all these content pages out to rank for certain keywords or long tails or whatever, and what percentage is like the H1 tag needs to be this, all the technical stuff, the speed, the um, internal linking between the pages.
right,
Yeah, like content versus technical, I guess.
I would say technical you can really simplify, and it's even easier to do with GoHighLevel and with snapshots. We've even custom valued out a lot of those details that you're mentioning, like H1s,
Mm.
H2s. Like we have custom values in those
Oh my
for
gosh.
specific niches, even in the metadata for
Dang.
meta titles and H1 tags. This is the way the snapshot comes. So you can fill out a form, and it's going to go drop in all these SEO details, right? Your keywords essentially in the right places. And the course is kind of teaching you how to customize it and set it up for yourself and your niche to have the keywords in the right places so that you can repeat that over and over. And it gives you that
Dang.
foundation, knowing your words are plugged in everywhere with custom values and image alt text. And we even do it with links as well, like the domains. We can just, even without knowing the domain yet, I can still program every single link by using custom values and just the path. If I know the path already with my URL structures, then I just drop in the custom value for the domain and put the path on there and can have all the links in that. So
Boom.
technical is very important, but there's like, 5 to 6, 7 key little things that if you just are aware of them and where to find them and you ensure each page has them, that then becomes maybe 15% of SEO. The rest is content, like just ensuring those things are in place, with the right words for that page, and even being willing to change them a little bit over time for certain pages. If
Hmm.
test different things out, if things like that. If you notice certain keywords ranking, or just want to play around with a particular page and whatnot, you'd be really surprised at what you can do just from trying. It's
Yeah.
cool, but it's
So,
all been boiled down to content for us nowadays.
okay. But you're telling me, in terms of on page SEO, second mind blown moment of this podcast, that I can upload a snapshot, fill out a form, which then updates all the custom values, and my SEO is 80% done.
Correct. On those core pages, yep, with like
Dang
three
it.
service pages. There's even we use blog articles, so we've kind of even structured our content to have three different page types. So
Okay.
it's either service or product, can be
Mm-hmm.
either one. Those kind of go in the same category, and then it's city or service area pages, which are still kind of tied to a service. So, say if we're targeting Houston, we're going to break Houston down by every little sub city. Like, um, I don't even know all of them, but
Yeah.
there's the
I get what you mean.
Woodlands and
Yeah.
a bunch of little sub cities and neighborhoods and stuff. So we'll build pages for those, and that also helps with the GMP and things like that. We can get into that a little bit more as well, but that's another page type, and it's essentially just taking our service keywords or one main service, and we might get into other services later, and just tacking on cities to each one. It's still writing unique content for each page, tying in
Mm.
a little bit of Google Maps data, like top 3 neighborhoods, top 3 things to do, top 3 sites, and a map embed. You can even inject keywords into your map embed that are relevant to that page or that little city, and that's a surefire way to cover our city pages to cover all of Houston. We're not going to have any gaps on the map because we took the time to write specific content for every little sub area. We can even
Wow.
expand past that, and each of those pages rank almost a lot faster than, say, our blog articles, and that's our third page type. And so
Okay.
we're mixing in those 3 types of pages a little bit each month,
The
and
three
scaling
types
those out.
being the core pages, the city pages, and the blog content.
Right. Yeah, we start out with like home and about us, and those core. Our
Yeah.
websites start with about 15 pages, but in
Mm-hmm.
those 15, we cover at least 3 services or products, unless the client only has like one. But
Yeah.
usually they offer more, and then we'll do 3 city pages to start and 3 blog articles to start, and then if they want to continue with content, it's just scaling those out at a certain structure. But we already have our templates for each one with our SEO details and stuff in custom values, so we can just kind of scale our custom values. So we scale the pages, and it's just a really nice, smooth, repeatable process with 1 to 2 VAs, and it's got like 2 to 3 little checkpoints throughout the 12-page process each month, but it's flowing really smooth.
Wow. Now, what do you charge for those 12 pages?
So right now, our clients pay about $1,500 a month for the 12 pages a month.
Mm-hmm. And all of that's local. You're not doing any kind of national ranking.
Not yet. I mean, it's specific areas, kind of by demand. Some client, like the client that does engines and stuff, they're local.
Mm-hmm.
He has like a local scrapyard and stuff in Houston, and they refurbish engines and do stuff like that. But we're still scaling out to other cities of Houston, and we're also doing that with a cleaning company from San Diego. But he's kind of quite the opposite. He's really leaned into Google Ads, and we're just getting started with SEO with him, and we're starting to scale out to other cities, starting with Google Ads, like Denver, Colorado, from San Diego. Um, so
For
we can
for a
do it
cleaning company.
anywhere. We just target specific areas first, and then scale that out.
Okay. Um, Very interesting. So, what about like an influencer, or I mean, ecom is a bad example because you're probably still pointing to Shopify at this point, but yeah, like an influencer that wants blog articles to be showing up or product pages to be showing up. Would you still go local on that, or would you try to just go like national on the blogs and do your best
Two
there?
To an extent. So the blogs are what's going to rank nationally for you, right? Those don't have any really local tie to them, and that's where you can really target everything. But local is just such like it's low hanging fruit. So you can, if you can start your foundation with that, and I think that's good for anybody, especially looking to get just more leads, local things. You can meet your clients in person sometimes. Like you're going to get some good connections from that, and that can kind of be the foundation of your site, and you become that local authority. It makes scaling nationally, or just even way much easier, and you can start to target other areas if you want. I mean, even by like economic class and things of that nature, depending on your client type. Like you can really think like that and kind of work your way into specific communities with other blog articles that you don't have to build out the city pages to target all of Los Angeles, because now that you've got some authority and maybe some links, maybe you get some local citations for some local directories to Los Angeles and things like that. But you can easily get an article to pop up over there that would be way harder to do with a brand new site trying to rank in that area.
Mm.
But then you'll notice you'll notice your traffic, like you'll start to rank everywhere essentially in more places. You'll see like hotspots, and you'll start to pick up, and you can kind of lean into that and write more content for that area, or just continue to really lean into blog articles. And eventually you will be able to rank across the country for some of those specific keywords. It's just it's local content's too easy to scale and to pass up, at least in the beginning, and it's going to help set the foundation for everything else. So I still recommend it.
I see. Okay. Um, and what about off page? Like, are you buying citations or sorry, you're buying links? I assume you're using the Yext plugin and high level. Uh, what all is happening there off page?
So off page, we've kind of simplified too. I You've got to be very careful buying links, and you should really do it in large quantities. Citations, though, on the other hand, are perfectly fine, and
Okay.
we even offer some citation services ourselves, where we have some team members that can build them out manually. But I also have another really good service that I recommend in the course, and I actually always recommend to start with them for your first citations, because they're going to do a full
Okay.
audit and show you the consistency of what you already have and what you need to fix, down to like characters in a business name or phone number or address. And so you can kind of get a really nice overview, and that's just an extra thing that they do for free.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do continue to use them, they'll just tack on to like those sheets for the citations. But that's the main thing that we're doing off page is citations and the Google My Business profile. We want that to be 100% complete. A couple of good posts, maybe post a couple times a year. Like we've even really gotten out of posting on the GMB. We
Yeah.
focus on reviews and questions, and you just want a little bit of everything, but you want the
Got it.
profile to be complete. And that city content is what really gets those Google business profiles to start ranking in bigger areas across the maps.
Got it.
So that's what we focus on for off page, really, is citations. And we write our articles in a way that we're trying to provoke links. That's what Google wants. It's against their policy to buy links. Everybody does it. We still do on occasion. We might buy like 5 or 10 here or there from reputable um, other content posters, like guest posting and
Yeah.
blog posting, things like that, but not in high quantities or anything. So we just write, and if you're providing good enough value, and it's not just like to get that local lead, like you're providing good information, maybe good infographics, links to other relevant information, naturally, and you keep doing that, like if you keep doing it consistently, you're
Yeah.
going to start to get those natural links, because you're providing, that's what SEO is, you're providing good enough information for people to want to cite you on that. And
Got it.
and so that's the best way to get links, and those will be a lot more powerful than most of the ones that you can buy. But there are some good link buying services on the steeper end for sure.
Got it. Um, and talk to me about your intro offer. Like you said, you're not doing a lot of prospecting for the agency itself today, mostly just people referring you. Maybe start back in the day. What were you introing with? Like, hey, we want you to sign up for SaaS plus Google Ads plus SEO. Like, how does that conversation start and what's the offer? And then talk about how that's transitioned over the last few years.
Okay. So my first offer was essentially Google Ads, right? Like we're
Mm-hmm.
going to run Google Ads. And I first started prospecting to other dent repair technicians, like dent repair and hail repair. And so it was just a cold email, reaching out to them, asking if they ever ran ads, if they needed more business. And it was very short, just kind of asking a question. And when I would get on with them, my offer would what started with Google Ads. We're going to give you this full system to track it. I was very transparent and honest with them. Like, look, I have one account here that I can show you results. That's actually the only reason I reached out today because I already have some good data, and I'm very confident I can replicate it for you in your area. And so it's just a matter of really getting it started. So my offer would be a landing
Okay.
page and Google Ads, really good tracking, and you kind of get the software as a bonus. It was packaged in, but I would just kind of show them the pipeline and the calendar. I would always make sure they were set up with the basics no matter what, for texting and emailing, and the pipeline for calendars and the dashboard, making sure they could see leads coming in and things like that. um, and that's what it started at. And I used to offer that. It was like $1,000 setup for a Google Ads landing page tracking, and that came with a GoHighLevel account. And then it was $397 a month for me to manage your ads and kind of support you on this. And they just ran it through their mobile apps. A lot of them were mobile dent repair
Yeah.
technicians, so they needed something to help them communicate. And they also, one way I really worked my way in was being able to collect pictures for them on the forms and just text those
Mm.
to them. So they had everything they needed to know to provide somebody a quote or say, your damage is too severe for PDR, you need a body shop,
Yeah.
without even having to talk to the customers. And so that was the first like feature or kind of software thing that I leaned into, that I started to like prospect with a little bit. It's like, look, my service is Google Ads. It's to get you more business, but it comes with a lot of these bonuses, right? And it's gonna get better. We can do a lot with it. If you need it, it's here. Just gonna make sure you know how to use it for the basics to cover things with your customers and communicate and schedule. And then just I all I need to know is when you sell something. If you can just drag leads to this last stage, let me know you sell something. It's actually going to email you like a list of your clients from that week, and you can type in right there from your email the sell amount, reports back to the pipeline, and it's a quick thing, and it reminds them for each lead. And it was a nice form that it emailed them, plugged in all their customers information, and
Mm-hmm.
they just typed in a value. So they really, they could do it all kind of at one time, and remember who it was. And keeping up with that helped me prove that I was making them a return. And so that was my original offer, was we're going to run Google Ads, and I have technology and software to help back it up and prove the results. And that was pretty much it. And I ran email campaigns with that for that first 6 months, and was doing demos all the time. And
Was it all to dent repair technicians?
pretty much, yeah, dent
Oh,
repair and hail repair. It's the
yeah.
same service, but they're pretty different because one's
Uh,
hundreds of dents and one's just one.
yeah. But you're sending like 70,000 emails a month type of thing, or you're typing all of these out yourself?
No, it was automated through high level. That was like the first thing that course taught me to do. I'm like, this is how you get clients. You email, and here's how you
Even
do it.
cold email through high level.
hmm
Do you still, if you were to do it today, would you still do it through high level?
Small campaigns. I mean, ours are
Okay.
still pretty personal. We do like 100 to 200 a day,
Okay.
and I would still funnel the responses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's that, and I can still get them to show up. Like I understand email enough to make sure it's not going to spam and stuff and
Nice.
domains and things. But yeah, that's what I started with, believe it or not, and was doing demos all the time. And
So that agency grew to how many clients, and like they were all kind of still at that 375 a month mark?
Right. So I started with that with 3 plus my home security client. So he was like my fourth,
Yeah.
not in the niche client, still doing similar things. I
Hmm.
had already built his website, but that's kind of like as far as we took it, as far as organic. I just built more than one landing page is the way I saw it for each of his
Okay.
different services. We were
Yeah. Yeah.
running different pages for his Google ads.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I scaled that original offer up to 3 dent repair clients. And that's when I started getting into SEO
Okay.
for them to get the results and stuff. So I kind of repeated exactly what I did for Google Ads, and I convinced all 3 of those clients to let me build them a website in GoHighLevel and see what we can do with it. And I just charged them like a setup charge for the website. I think I charged them maybe like $9.97 to build like a 10-page website similar to theirs on similar domain. And let's just test it for 90 days. I'm not even going to charge you anything extra for 90 days. But if it generates results for you, leads, any sales, then after this, then it'll go up to $5.97 a month just to keep the website going. And like that, we might add content onto it. That's when I kept just kind of leaning into it. What else can I do to get more organic results to show off? And that's when I learned about citations and schema. And it was just research myself. It was really nothing the other agency taught me. They just taught me to do Google ads and Facebook ads, which I never really did a lot of. Um, and and that was it. And how to cold email to get clients. And
Yeah.
so I leaned into the SEO myself. And so then I started prospecting with that. And I built that up to about 9 PDR clients. And I changed my offer to be we can start with either one, organic or Google ads. Pricing for just one was similar, like $3.97 to $4.97. But if you wanted to do both, that was $1,000 a month. And that
Okay.
was with me starting to do content. And, I was more confident in myself as well. I had kind of proven the results, and that's when I
Yeah.
started a new offer and started a cold email with that, and built that up to like the 9 or 10 dent repair clients, and the goal with them, a lot of them did take both, like, and I pitched it as in like we're gonna spend on ads now. That's gonna get your phone ringing like this week, next week. I already have data and negative keywords we don't want to rank for, kind of everything we need. And so I'll get your phone ringing within the next few weeks with Google Ads, but I don't want you to have to spend on ads forever. Or we can choose to scale your ads. Like I have clients to go one of 2 ways at about
Hmm.
that 1 year mark. If we start ads and SEO today, at that 1 year mark, you'll be able to make a decision because you'll have extra revenue that you can count on. You can either then decide to kind of scale your ad spend with some of that organic revenue that you can count on and maybe even higher. And I do have clients, my home security client was the one doing that. He was hiring more installers and
Hmm.
things like that. And I said, or we can choose to spend less on ads and kind of lean more into SEO. And I would have some clients even kind of start to pause their ads once we did get to that 1 year mark because they were individual technicians. Some were
Hmm.
closer to retirement. They were happy with what they got each month. And, so that's when it became a lot more hands off. Our website's ranking well. GHL works, the automations work, they know how to use it. So now they're just kind of paying me each month to, for GHL to host all of this essentially.
So cool. Yeah. Love it. Um, and then that offer scaled where? Like, how many clients did you get with that, and
So
where did you?
that I scaled up to about 10 full clients with hail repair and
Hmm.
dent repair, different clients across the country. And then I kind of stopped prospecting for that. I did get into the course originally right around there after I had built 3 full websites and I had 3 new organic clients as well. And the original sites had been running for like, I think 4 to 5 months is when I saw people asking questions in the Facebook group for GHL. Like, hey, has anybody ranked a site from
Hmm.
high level? Like, does anybody have any data or anything? And I said, yeah,
Yeah.
here's 3 sites, like compared to their WordPress site. This is just, here's my numbers. That's
Yeah.
essentially all I said. And that post kind of blew up, all kinds of people asking about it. And Sean Clark asked me, he's like, hey, we're trying to convince people of what you're saying that what you need for a website is here. It's not where you build it. Like that really doesn't have anything to do with it,
Yeah.
would you make a video of your results, like in a little more detail? And so I did that, and that blew up as well. A lot of people started asking me, "Hey, can you do this for me, for other industries and all kinds of things?" That, and I was still pretty much a one man show for the most part. I would
Okay.
outsource some things from Upwork, but it was more one time, like, "Hey, just do this for me real quick because I'm a little overloaded."
Yeah.
I didn't have a team yet or anything like that, so I didn't want to take it on, but I was like, look, I will show you exactly how I've done it, and I will reverse engineer what I've done into a snapshot because I know enough about high level now that like this is pretty valuable. And
Hmm.
so the first version of my snapshot and SEO course didn't even have custom values or workflows or anything like that. It was just my foundation for setting up a website and scaling the content,
Mm.
having, showing people where to do the SEO and like the metadata and the H tags and image alt text and, certain word counts and image sizes, links, like little basic things like that. And that started to take off rather quickly. It took me a long time to build that course. It was a
Hmm.
lot of hours of material, and that was another grind of staying up late at night because I'm still servicing my clients and everything. But the
Yeah.
whole point was to, number one, help other people that were asking about it, but to try to take some of the workload off too, because SEO can still be a lot of work
Yeah.
when you start to scale it for a lot of clients, when you're doing Google Ads as well. And so I didn't want to really keep scaling it a whole lot. I
Hmm.
wanted to start to figure out other things. I knew I had GHL, and like courses were a possibility in there. It comes with memberships too.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make some money with this as well, and help some other agencies along the way. And now the snapshot's on like version 4.2. It comes with a full set of workflows, like everything I use. If I use it for my clients, I give it to you too, whether you are really going to use it or not. It comes with all the custom values in the snapshot to place the keywords for SEO, and it shows you
Hmm.
kind of how to change those out and customize them for yourself as well. Like it's been used for I think over like 70 niches. I always like jot down when I hear a new one of somebody using it for themselves, or I see a website of somebody that's built it with like the template and the structure, and it's been used for a lot of different local niches, and it's super cool to see. But
Very
it's
cool.
meant to kind of help you mend and mold that for your niche so that you
Hmm.
now have a scalable kind of SEO model, at least a foundation for each client. And once the foundation's set up, then you just scale out some of your service page templates or some of your blog page templates or some of your city page templates, and it just becomes a system.
So cool. So that course and snapshot now has, what were you saying, 450 people have bought it?
Yes, and that's actually kind of what's led me to my business partner and the SaaS agency that we have today. Like I mentioned earlier, I went through his Google Ads course,
Hmm.
and then had a need for SEO. He had a little bit of SEO experience. That's kind of when he got started with marketing in another group, but
Yeah.
not with high level yet. It was all WordPress and developing other tools and things like that with WordPress. So he bought my course and went through it, and that's kind of how we got linked up. But there's also been a lot of other opportunities that have came from that, and like people needing citations or automations, or and just because we know it and could do it, that's facilitated a lot of things too. So just the course alone and kind of starting that is what really took me in another direction. And the agency that I like went through to learn actually asked me to remake and rebrand my course for their custom version of GoHighLevel.
Mm.
And so I did that, and that was like we launched that on a live channel, and it's the most sales I'd ever made in one day. Like it was
Yeah.
huge. Like it was really cool. And so that one's still running. It's the same course and snapshot. It's just
Yeah.
branded for their white label. But that's
So
had
cool.
like over 100 people go through it. They
Wow.
essentially were all the ones that bought like right away. But
Yeah. Um, And so, what does the SaaS agency you have now do in terms of services? I know you mentioned the content, but like, are a lot of those people, they're taking the course, they're like, okay, we don't want to do this. We actually want you to do it. And is it just content, and how many clients do you have there, or what?
So that's some definitely that like go through the course and they'll either say like, "Hey, I have my site, but I'm ready to do it for someone else, and that was a lot of work. Can you do
Mm-hmm.
this one for us?" And and then I get asked about Google Ads. I do have that course and snapshot now with GoHighLevel that I've made that kind of shows the right way to do tracking and landing pages and call to action and all that. So I did make that one as well, and I started getting more Google Ads requests and stuff. So our agency today is SaaS focused, but we also have what we call microservices. So we've broken it down. We have 10 or 12, I think, now. And it's like if we do something for a client, we build it right. So we're like, yes, we could do it, today, but give us 30 days because we're going to go build out the payment funnel for this and the video and kind of demo it and snapshot it to where it's scalable because we're never going to do anything one time. That's kind
Yeah.
of our motto today. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right and it's going to be scalable and sellable. And
Yeah.
so we built a lot of those microservices. So it's content or just citations, or we will do backlinks and stuff. We can do prospecting. Like you can email and exchange backlinks and things like that. Like a lot of YouTube agencies will do that and reach out to me like, hey, would you mention our product on your channel? I'm sure you get that kind of stuff too,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's prospecting for backlinks. That's what that is. They're essentially looking
Okay.
for a link a lot of times. And so you can do that, exchange content and stuff. So we have a backlink service. We have building brand new websites. So I'm listing all kind of our organic and SEO related services. So it's websites or just landing pages. So we do one page or 5 or 15, and our
Okay.
1 and 5 are like Google Ads oriented, and that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of how we market them. These are for paid traffic, or if you want the full 15 page, that's the foundation for organic. If you want to do content with us and you don't already have a site or a GoHighLevel site, then we probably need to start there with just building one first because that sets the foundation for the content services. And then we do Google Ads as well. We do setups, and these are also white labeled services. So we have a lot of agencies that buy these services from us. We do a lot of setups, and agencies will utilize the course like to know, okay, it's set up right the first time. Now I can go do content. Now I can clone a page and get
Yeah.
content from ChatGPT. I can do that, and I know my foundation's in place. So we have a lot of agencies that utilize that. So these have been services we've kind of like back plugged into the courses and stuff,
Cool.
if people want them. And then our clients take advantage of them as well, our SaaS clients and stuff, if they need certain things. So we also do custom automations. We built some really, really cool custom automation builds. And
Mm-hmm.
so we kind of have development hours for those, or just GHL optimization. Like if you've ever seen an account that just looks like a mess with 100 workflows that aren't named and
Yeah.
folders and forms, if clients want that cleaned up or just organized or more functional, we have a service for GHL optimization. And so I
So cool.
think that's the most of them, and we'll do them white labeled if someone wants it in their GHL. We kind of set things up as snapshots and give them to you that way. But we also offer these services internally to all our SaaS clients also.
So cool. How many? I mean, you don't really have like a ton of recurring. It sounds like a lot of it is one-off stuff, but how many clients have you serviced all time through the agency, would you say?
Through the new one, probably 250 or better
Wow.
between the different individual services and stuff. And we
Yeah.
do have recurring too for Google Ads and stuff. We have the
Yeah.
recurring option if you want us to manage it and optimize it. So all of our SaaS clients, that's we do certain like recurring services. So it's monthly content or monthly Google Ads management, or some just have
Okay.
the monthly software, as well.
Got
Um,
it. And those are people that you've prospected to directly, or people that your business partner found, or what are the pure SaaS clients? Where are they coming from?
So it's been a mix. Some came from that original marketing group that, me and my partner were both kind of in. A lot have came from that. A lot have came from the course. as well. Like they would take the course or they knew high level and or they already had their own and they couldn't quite get it configured right or working the way
Yeah.
they wanted it. And that is the motto of GoHighLevel. Like they're supposed to
Yeah.
be that person like you or I in between the end business owner.
Yeah.
That's the agency that knows how to set it up, and that's why they've been so successful. So
Yeah.
why not lean into that? And
Yeah.
that's what we do. So
Very cool. I'm starting down the same path to sell some sub accounts just because I'm finding a lot of affiliates dropping off. They're like, first of all, a lot of business owners, not agency owners, are finding high level. They get on, they get confused, they leave. I'm like, hey, like we'll do an onboarding call, we'll treat you right. You get CloseBot, UpHex, and high level for one fee. Come on board, and that I see that model like still living in the GHL community but selling sub accounts. Like there's so much opportunity there.
there is, and it's like we'd be leaving a lot on the table not to have our
Yeah.
SaaS and stuff as well. And we kind of made the decision to build that and focus on that. And we actually even built out a lot of like niched SaaS websites too for like 27 different niches. We have
Wow.
like day repair ones and dentists, and it was from like agencies requesting that. Like they wanted a good kind of niche SaaS to help prospect with and everything. And
Yeah.
those are still out there running. We have some little partners and stuff on ones here and there, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them have needed us to kind of help set it up for them, and so we would take on the clients from that as well. So that's where some of our agency clients have come from in today's time, and it's just like it's there and people need it, and a lot of times they would just rather have us do it and do it the right way. And
Yeah.
we also have a lot of additional bonuses and things already built out. The value's there, so and
Yeah.
so is the authenticity, and I think that's really all it takes. And when you've got the foundations there, clients kind of find you.
Yeah. The word that's coming across is meticulous. Um, and as we close out today, if you are looking for a course and a snapshot and an agency that is absolutely meticulous in everything they do, Josh will take great care of you. The links for GHL meets SEO and GHL meets Google Ads will be below. Josh, what's the name of the agency, and can people just start there? Or should they go through the course first?
No, absolutely. So the course is available too through my new agency, and this is what we're kind of doing everything through today. It's called
Mhm.
customers.plus. That's our website, or customers plus. And so we'll have all of our new microservices and snapshots. We have snapshots.plus as well. My courses
Nice.
are on there as well. We're starting to sell them through there and have some niche snapshots and automation snapshots. So yeah, if you want to keep up with everything, just check out customers.plus and you can find all the new stuff there too.
Love it, man. Thanks so much for coming on. And I'm sure we'll be sending a lot of people your way after this for sure.
Absolutely. It was great talking with you, Keaton.